The Silver Star category would once again provide some great sideways action to entertain us here in the BTRDA as the crews headed to round 3. The event signs Woodpecker Stages Rally. And with 2 different winners from the 2 rounds so far this season, it was all to play for. Without further ado, we're straight out onto those stages then. And opening up an early lead will be Ashley Davies and Sam Fordham. How good does the livery on that car look this season? They step it up each time. 9 seconds of an advantage at this stage. At the end of stage 2, things were still close. That lead, certainly not a comfortable one. And chasing them down for that lead will be Robert Goff and Alan Edwards. The pair leading the way in the H3 class as well at this stage, and themselves having to also watch behind them as the times were close on that leaderboard. In fact, looking at it, the times between 2nd and 3rd were even closer. Just 3 seconds back to Owen Lloyd and Sean Williams. They come here from a crash on the previous round in Scotland, all to prove, all to make up. It was good to see that there wasn't any lost confidence. The pace still there, and the battle still good. With Ashley Davies leading the B12 class then, it will be up to Rob Wright and Mark Fisher to take 2nd place in the class at this stage and 4th overall. The times were good. They were only 11 seconds back from the podium positions. And 3rd in that class would be Owen McMacken and Lee Taylor. A further 2 seconds back as they go into the first service of the day. All to play for the next pair of stages, right through the top of this leaderboard in Silver Star. 6th place at this stage will be Gary Thomas and Will Parry. Even this far into our top 10, the times still close, showing just how competitive this category is. 7 seconds back from the escort up ahead, only 32 seconds off the lead at this point as well. A bit of a bigger gap between the top of the H3 class leaders. Paul Street and Ian Jones, Silver Star category winners from the previous round of course, were lying 2nd in that class for now. A few places back on the overall leaderboard, but still putting in some hot times. For Michael McDade and Declan Casey, it will be 3rd in H3. The Irish pairing ending the morning 8th place on our leaderboard in that escort. And behind them on the overall and class results at this stage were Baz Jordan and Arwell Jenkins. A couple of good results under their belts this season already means the pair are in a good position when the championship is concerned this season. And we round out the top 10 at the end of the morning stages with Ricky Crone and Daniel James, the pair leading the way in the B11 class as well. The top 10 overall, only separated by a minute. A great close battle in Silver Star this weekend. In the R2 class, it will be 2nd place for Rob Wilson and Martin Haggett. They were looking for a good result, but more importantly, they were looking for a finish, having only put 1 point on the board so far this season. The H2 class seeing the usual fight emerging, and coming out on top this time around will be this man, Terry Pankhurst, Jamie Sparks alongside. They have a very small 1 second advantage in the class after 2 stages. Closest to them in the class and on the overall leaderboard were Martin Freeston and Rory McCann. This class was one of the closest we've seen in the Silver Star category this season. In the B10 class, meanwhile, it will be the lead for Sean Bannister and Gavin Haycock. They had a strong advantage in that class and a good place overall with 16th as well. For Robert Bradley and Kevin Booth, it would be 2nd in the B11 class. They weren't going to catch our class leaders anytime soon, but that wasn't going to slow them down on the stages, as you can see. And for Charlie Wright and Ashley Ramsey, it will be 2nd in B10. The Peugeot pair a little way off that class lead, just concentrating on their overall times. So with the morning stages complete here at the Woodpecker Stages Rally in the Silver Star category of the BTRDA, the leaderboard at the top of this Silver Star is looking like this. Let's head into the afternoon stages then. And there was going to be plenty of change in our leaderboard. Graham Roberts and Stephen Spear ending the rally second in the B11 class after the loss of Robert Bradley from that position. B10 would be one of the classes that didn't change though. Charlie Wright and Ashley Ramsey continuing to hold on to their second place in the class to that finish board. I said the class didn't change technically. That was true if you apply that to the top of that leaderboard. But we do lose Howard Alexander and Paul Hudson. Sadly for them, the drive shaft breaking on the car, meaning they would go no further. So taking that class victory would be Sean Bannister and Gavin Haycock. First in the B10 class and a great 12th place overall. Conrad Boss and Jeff Crabtree were out this weekend after a long time out of the car. Inspired by coverage of the 2019 Roger Albert Clark rally, they bought a car and they went to the rally school and they got an entry in for the event once again, but this weekend at least they would finish the rally with 20th overall. We look forward to seeing you guys on the RAC. There'd be some change to talk about in the H2 class. That really close battle this morning that we were talking about, well, it would change hands. For Terry Pankhurst and Jamie Sparks, that would mean taking second place this weekend. And of course, that meant it would be victory in the class for Martin Freeston and Rory McCann. As well as taking the victory, they also managed to open up a good advantage in that position in the championship as well. We're on to the top 10 then, and for Ricky Crone and Daniel James, there's no change, which was good for the pair. They were in the lead of the B11 class and would take that victory at the end of the rally. A strong result to put them 10th overall in the championship so far this season. A good run through the afternoon stages would see Jonathan Jones and Alan Walker step up to 9th place overall, and indeed up to second in the R2 class as well. A strong end for the Fiesta pair. We'd also see Simon and Alistair Crook make their way into our top 10 leaderboard this afternoon. They'd be just one of many historic cars filling the top of the Silver Star results this weekend in 8th overall. Another of those crews would be Baz Jordan and Arwell Jenkins, the pair ending the rally 7th overall, 3rd in the H3 class in the Avenger. This weekend, though, wouldn't mean win number 2 for Paul Street and Ian Jones, no matter how hard they'd wished for that or tried for it out on those stages. They'd have to settle for 6th place in the category. They do take 2nd in H3, though. The result, however, this weekend, combined with the previous rounds, would see them 5 points clear at the top of the championship standings after 3 rounds. For Rob Wright and Mark Fisher, it would be 3rd in the B12 class, unfortunately slipping down the times overall, and in the class as well after the afternoon, ending the day 5th overall on our leaderboard. There'd be a bit of last-ditch drama and a big shake-up at the top of our leaderboard in the afternoon, though. We see previous category leaders Ashley Davies and Sam Fordham end the rally with 4th place overall. A small yet crucial mistake on a hairpin would see them putting the Escort into a ditch. No damage done. They were able to get out after a short amount of trying, but the damage to the timesheets had already been done, even if there was no damage to the car.
Okay, hairpin. Right, 2 left in and 2 right over crest and 2 left long. Two left.
That mistake, of course, sees changes throughout the top of our podium positions, as well as some different faces in there as well. Owen McMacken and Lee Taylor jumping a few positions to end the rally, rounding out our podium positions in 3rd, as well as taking the B12 class win. That loss of Davies, of course, would promote Owen Lloyd and Sean Williams up a position as well. They step up from 3rd into 2nd. A strong end to the rally for the pair, who, despite their crash on the previous round, would still be lying 6th in our BTRDA Silver Star Championship standings. But all of this change would benefit one crew more than all of the others. Robert Goff and Alan Edwards are promoted to the top spot in the category, taking victory after a close fight throughout the rally, taking it on merit despite that issue for Ashley Davies. They move into 4th place in the championship overall now as well. So at the end of the event, signed Woodpecker stages, the leaderboard and indeed the results in the Silver Star category look like this. Next up for the crews, it will be the fast flowing stages of Yorkshire for the Track Rod Forest stages. Keep an eye on the Facebook for all of the coverage. Thank you for watching.